Hi, welcome back. I'm Nina Franklin. I am your student's teacher for English 8. If you haven't already, I recommend you go back and watch the social studies video, or I suppose watch it after, but in that one I talk more about classroom expectations and COVID policies and things like that. This will just be about what we do in English 8. If your student has me for English 8, they also have me for social studies. We have a humanities block here at Briar Terrace. And I love the block because I can combine the two content areas. So for example, we can build background in US history that will help us understand a story better, or vice versa. We can understand a period in history more deeply by reading a novel. So it's a good thing for me as a teacher, and I think for their learning. And also it's just nice that instead of having 6 teachers in their day, they have 5. Here's the collections book. I'll say more about it, but if you're not familiar with collections, you will be. It's the adopted English textbook for grades 7 through 12. And then this is a novel, Chains, that I'm expecting to teach with the class, and I can say more about that. With collections, they don't need a physical textbook. I have them here in the room, but as long as they have their Chromebook, they have access to the collections ebook, and that includes the stories as well as audio. They each have a close reader that they get to write in, and we mostly keep these in the classroom. The units that we do with the collections in 8th grade, we have the Thrill of Horror coming up, which is always a favorite. And then we read selections of Anne Frank's diary. That will probably be 2nd semester, and we'll do some background to the Holocaust and World War II to help us understand the context of Anne Frank's diary. And then Move Toward Freedom includes a biography of Harriet Tubman and selections of Frederick Douglass's autobiography, so it lines up really well with our study of abolitionists and the causes of the Civil War in U.S. history. And so that Chains novel is aligned with the Revolutionary War unit. It's told by an enslaved girl in New York City at the time of the Revolutionary War, and she gets caught up as a spy. It's great. So I am planning on doing that later in 1st semester. We'll get started is my plan. I often do literature circles, which is sort of like little book clubs where a group of 4 students or so will be reading the same book and then discussing it. That feels a bit tricky with COVID. We'll see. So that's to be determined if we do literature circles this year. We do use Newsela in an ongoing way, like at least once a week. And I'll show you a little more of Newsela. iReady is new to me this year. Students this week are doing the diagnostic. That's a district-wide expectation. You're probably familiar with it in math, and we're just starting to use it in English. So Newsela, if you're not familiar, does current events and has really great relevant articles. What I love about it is if I pick, whatever I pick on Newsela, students are able to change the reading level. So here I can see that this was something that came out in the Associated Press, right? This would be in an adult level newspaper, but the student can change the Lexile, and now I'm reading the same content, but I'm reading it at a 3rd grade reading level. So this is really excellent because the reading level kind of grows with the student, and students and I will track what their quiz average is in Newsela, how their reading level has gone up over the course of the year. So it's really powerful for student data. Independent reading. I want students to always have a book that they are reading. We read twice a week at the start of class for about 15 minutes. I really just want them to have the habit and the opportunity to read regularly for enjoyment. In other words, they get to pick their reading material. We go regularly to the Briar Terrace Library to check out books, and that's just part of our routine. They should always have it with them in class as well. let's see. Oops. Okay. In terms of writing, they have a composition book. We do journals maybe about once a week. We will do some paragraphing and then essay writing, both expository and argumentative writing this year. Other skills I work on, academic vocabulary, keywords that they will come across in multiple subjects areas, will learn and then practice using these academic vocabulary words. Using evidence to support a claim, they worked on that in 7th grade and will continue working on that key skill in 8th grade. And then media literacy. Sometimes the librarian, Karen Kasperzak, will teach the media literacy lesson. Sometimes I will. Just how can we be thoughtful and critical consumers of media and researchers? Ask your student what they're reading. That's a great way that you can support what I'm doing in here. And email me if you have any questions. I'm looking forward to a great year in English 8. Thanks for your time.